Hello everyone and welcome to my channel MoreToChess. In this video I am going to cover Magnus Carlsen game from the year 2001 in order to have insight about how he plays at that time. So without any delay, let's start the game. Here Gaasland playing with the white starts with the move d4 and Magnus with black plays knight to f6, c4, e6, knight to c3 and bishop to b4. The famous Nimzo-Indian defense. Now queen to c2, guarding the e4 square and at the same time preventing the doubling of the pawns, and this particular variation is known as the classical variation of the Nimzo-Indian defense. Now Magnus castles, a3 attacking the bishop, bishop cross c3 check, queen cross c3 and now b6. This is known as the Kiri's defense. The idea is to play bishop to b7 in order to control the e4 square, which is the central idea of the Nimzo-Indian defense. Now bishop to g5 pinning the knight, bishop to b7, and here white plays f3 in order to play e4 in order to control the major central squares, and now Magnus immediately plays d5 striking in the center, not giving up this e4 square. Now e3, knight b to d7, bishop to d3 and h6 attacking the bishop, bishop to h4, and here Magnus played queen to e8. A very strange looking move with the idea to play e5, and this move also unpins the queen. Now instead of queen e8, the most popular reply for black here is c5, and the variation goes like c cross d5, c cross d4, e takes d4, rook c8 attacking the queen, queen to d2, bishop cross d5, and the position is equal. But Magnus chooses to play different variation, which is queen to e8. Now bishop to g3 attacking the c7 pawn, which weakens after queen to e8. Now rook to c8 defending the pawn, and c5 threatening to play c6 forking the bishop and the knight. Now b cross c5 the only option for black, d cross c5 threatening c6 again, and here Magnus plays d4, a really nice pawn sacrifice in order to open up the center since the white king has not castled yet. Here white replies queen cross d4, which allows black some tempo moves, which is bad. Instead of queen cross d4, the best reply for white here is e cross d4 followed by knight d5 attacking the queen, queen c2, knight 7 to f6, knight to e2, and here white is better because of its material advantage and space. But white plays queen cross d4, after which Magnus plays e5 attacking the queen with tempo. Now queen to c3, again a mistake. The best move is queen to c4 keeping an eye on the e4 square. After queen c3, the mistake is Magnus instantly plays e4. And here Magnus is slowly dismantling white's position. Here white has many options. The first is if white takes with f cross e4, then Magnus plays, then the variation goes like bishop cross e4 attacking the g2 pawn followed by knight to d5. Here white has two options. First bishop cross e4 and the other is knight f3. If white chooses to play bishop cross e4, then knight cross e4, queen to d4 and knight d cross c5, and black is completely winning here since white king is not castled yet, this piece is not developed and black is already, Now instead of bishop cross e4, if white chooses to play knight to f3, then black simply plays knight to d5 attacking the queen followed by bishop cross d3 and then attacking this e3 pawn, which is simply winning for black. Now coming back to this position, if white did not capture with f cross e4, if white capture with bishop cross e4, then black plays bishop cross e4, f cross e4 and knight cross e4 attacking the queen, again queen d4, knight cross c5, which we discussed earlier. So coming back to the previous position here, the best move in this position is to play bishop to b5 pinning the knight and threatening to play c6, which white didn't play. Here white played c6, which is again a mistake. Here Magnus plays e cross d3 and here white plays bishop to f2, which is again a blunder protecting this e3 pawn. Now Magnus played knight to d5 and here Magnus returned the favor by blundering back. Now can you guess the best move instead of knight to d5? Okay, the best move here is d2 check. Now you cannot capture with the queen, otherwise bishop cross c6 and black is simply a piece up. So after d2 check, king cross d2, bishop to a6, cutting off the king, c cross d7, queen cross d7 check, king to c2, not king to e1, otherwise queen to b5, and there are two mating threats. So king to c2 and now knight to d5, attacking the queen, having an overwhelming advantage for black. But Magnus plays knight to d5, blundering back. Now c cross d7, queen cross d7, queen cross d3, and here Magnus played queen to e6, threatening to play knight f4, attacking the queen and the g2 pawn. Now white castles long. Magnus plays c5, threatening to play c4 and then all the way down to c3, to which white replied with queen to c4, blockading this c5 pawn. And here Magnus plays rook f to d8, again threatening to play knight cross e3, and the variation goes like rook cross d8 check, rook cross d8, and if rook cross e6 then rook d1 mate. So white get confused and plays e4, which is a very big blunder, hoping to equalize the game by exchanging the queens. But what it really does, it instantly destroyed white's position. Instead of e4, a simple knight h3, a simple developing move, and the position becomes equal. But after e4, Magnus plays knight to e3, a discovered attack with a mating trap. Now rook cross d8 check, rook cross d8, again threatening mate. Here white plays queen to e2 and queen to c4 check, and white resigns the game. So Magnus won in a very stunning manner, as after queen cross c4, then rook to d1 mate, and if king to b1, then rook d1 check, queen cross d1, knight cross d1. So we can conclude how deadly Magnus was back in year 2001. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the game and see you later.